Hi there, good afternoon. My name is Michael Thompson with the September Life-Changing Leadership Blast. Today I want to talk to you about two extremes in personality preferences, and for the sake of this conversation I am going to exaggerate just a little bit. On one hand we're going to discuss our preference for introversion, and on the other hand we're going to discuss extraversion. Now we are going to talk about these in a little bit of extremes, so just appreciate that some of this might pertain to you or some of it might not pertain to you, and some of it might pertain to maybe someone that you're aware of in your workplace. When it comes to a lot of extroversion, these are people who absolutely want to speak to think. They absolutely love to process information out loud, and it's often critical to their ability to process information. They'll often come across as speaking faster and louder, and with this comes an increased potential to come across maybe more verbose and even potentially assertive. When we talk about our introverted preference now, what we're really looking at is individuals who really like to think to speak. They really want to process information before they have to deliver it out here. This can often come across as being more soft-spoken and potentially hesitant to interrupt or make themselves heard, which can often create some interesting dynamics in the workplace. Of course, this can lead to an increased potential in coming across unenthusiastic and potentially distant. So one of the things that can happen when we look at these two extremes is that when we're dealing with urgency, our individuals with a lot of extroversion are actually going to become more talkative. They're going to want to process more information out loud. And as a result, that's going to come across as appearing more involved, wanting to inject themselves into problem solving and decision making. Again, with our introversion, however, again, as some exaggerations here, what can sometimes happen is when urgent times come about, these are individuals who can be a little bit more sensitive to external urgency. And what I mean by that is that extroverted individuals can easily and are quite comfortable to share their urgency or cascade that urgency out to their environment. This can come across as potentially stressing other individuals out, really venting about their issues potentially. And so when we look at it from the introverted perspective, again, that's going to be potentially opposite. So these are individuals, when times become urgent, they're going to become potentially more introverted. So there's going to be less information and less sharing. They might want to withdraw just a little bit to really collect their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And as a result, this can allow for a very big discrepancy in how one party might perceive the other and vice versa. So some of the recommendations we have when it comes to urgent times or stressful situations and having a lot of extroversion is simply the ability to slow down and really monitor the amount of sharing that we're doing, or the amount of sharing of this urgency that we're doing, because it sometimes has the potential to really stress other people out. When it comes to a lot of this introversion in urgent times, one of the things we would recommend or encourage you to do is really try and dial up in a safe way your assertiveness and really try to make yourself heard. Often this can come in the form of just asking for permission or really trying to give someone some heads up if you want to speak up in a meeting, or really to challenge someone. That can be quite difficult. It can sometimes be seen as an aggressive stance if we need to go and have a very difficult conversation. So again, individuals with a lot of introversion might be hesitant to want to inject themselves into some of those difficult conversations. That's not to say it's any easier for individuals with a lot of extroversion. However, because these are individuals who are already excellent at processing their thoughts, feelings, and emotions out here, it can sometimes make it seem as though our individuals with a lot of extroversion are much more involved and communicative in urgent or crisis situations, whereas with a lot of introversion, it can show up very differently. So what this means is sometimes we need to respect one another's preferences and really try and find very collaborative ways to come and meet each other in the middle. Whether that means from our introverted side, where we're trying to share a little bit more, speak up a little more, and really allow ourselves to be heard. And with our extroversion, especially in urgency, to slow down and really focus on listening first before trying to process information aloud. Hope this information was helpful, and we'll see you guys in October. Take care.